Hi, today I'm going to show you how to log into ReadWorksTutorial, which is a website we're going to be using during our literacy block. So first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to type in ReadWorks.org into your URL, and it will bring you to this home page. Then you're going to click on I am a student. And next you're going to type in our code. Our class code is 3 capital J, capital TY, 2. And then you'll hit continue. It'll then bring you to this page where it lists your name. I'm going to pretend to be Ismar. Then you're going to type in our password. Our password is Murphy, M-U-R-P-H-Y, 318. Capital M please and Murphy, and it should work. It'll then bring you to this assignment page. On the assignment page, you'll notice that it has assignments to do as well as submitted assignments. Right now, Ismar hasn't submitted anything, so it's empty. But she does have an assignment to do. This article, The Shortest Path, she has to do before November 11th. So she's going to click on it. When you get to this page, you'll notice a couple different things. The first is this text box. This will make the text larger and easier for you to read. The next is this paragraph button. This will number the paragraphs for you and be easier to identify the evidence when you go back to answer the question. Finally, there's this audio recording box, which lets you listen to the article while you read it. Follow along while we read the first paragraph of this article together.
The Shortest Path by Christopher Mogg. What happens when you're standing in one spot and you want to visit a different spot, but there's water in the way? That's the problem people faced for hundreds of years in the area that is now New York City. In New York City, there is a tidal strait called the Narrows, which connects Upper New York Bay with Lower New York Bay. On one side of the water is Brooklyn. On the other side is Staten Island. The Narrows is the place where Brooklyn and Staten Island come closest to touching.
So I'm going to stop there. Now you'll notice up here that the next tab is SRS1. This means you're going to read through it again on your own. Now you'll also notice that here there's no more audio recording, and this is really important that you go through and you read it on your own. Then you have the same thing, SRS2, so you're silently reading it to yourself for a second time. Finally, we have our vocabulary tab. Here you have 3 vocabulary words for this article. You have your definition, advanced definition, as well as Spanish conjugate. Now, a Spanish conjugate is 2 words in Spanish and English that are very similar. And finally, you have some sentences where the vocabulary word is correctly used. Next, we have questions. Here you'll find some multiple choice and short answer questions. It is very important that while you answer these comprehension or multiple choice questions, that you go back in the article and you identify evidence that answers the question. So for example, in this passage, people needed a way to get between what 2 places? I can answer this question based on the first paragraph. It said that they were trying to get between Brooklyn and Staten Island. So I'm going to write C as my answer. I would do this for every problem for the multiple choice problems and go back and reread the article each and every time. As I move down, I'm now going into the short answer questions. 8, 9, and 10 are short answer questions because they need at least a sentence or 2 to explain my answer. So it says, why did leaders of the military, for example the Navy, oppose the first 2 planned bridges over the Narrows? So if I'm a good 3rd grade student and restating this question, I would say, the leaders of the military opposed the first 2 bridges over the Narrows because, and then I would explain my thinking. When I get to the bottom and all my answers are complete, I'm going to hit submit. Now once you hit submit, this will send your answers to me and I will be looking at them. The last and final feature of ReadWorks is the ebook. The ebook gives you some interesting tools. It allows you to put some visuals in connection with the article, and it gives you additional resources and information about what you read. Now on page 2, you'll notice there's two options when reading this book. The blue arrow is just like you did in the article, and the black and yellow arrow will highlight the words as it's being read to you. Follow along as I show you what it will do.
The Verrazano Narrows Bridge connects Brooklyn and Staten Island in New York City. Almost 200,000 cars and trucks travel across it every day.
If you're a friend who needs to follow along and might have trouble, this is a great option for you. I hope this helped. When you're done, make sure to log out.